And the final port is port 80. Xbox Live 4, port 80, port 80, 1, 3, 6. And we get this error message. This error message is telling us specified ports are being used by other configurations. And it's telling to check our configuration not only in port forwarding, but port triggering, UNP port mapping, RIP, internet connection type, etc., etc. So what exactly is the problem here? What port are they talking about? We're setting up port 80, and it wouldn't allow us to do that. Well, why is that? Well, the reason for that is because right here, earlier, we set up a rule to forward port 80 to our network attached storage device. Okay, well, so what's the problem? A router can only forward traffic to one port to one place at a time. It's kind of like your TV. You can only turn on one channel at a time. So we need to decide what to do about this. Well, we can delete it, but if we delete it, then we lose our remote access to our network attached storage device. Well, that's no good. Well, what about if we try to change this port? Well, that's a good consideration. Why? Some devices will allow you to use an alternate HTTP port, such as 8080 or 81, etc., etc. So then simply what we could do is we could substitute these 80s with another port. Unfortunately, this particular device is not one of those. However, it does give us the ability to, instead of using regular HTTP, to use secure HTTP, which is a different port number. So we can go in here and we can edit this service. And change it to the secure or SSL port for HTTP, which is 443. 443. Apply. So I went into the network attached storage device and told it to stop using port 80 and start using the secure HTTP port. And now this configuration should now work for this device. So let's continue. Success. Okay, so you saw that little error message pop up when we try to use the same port number in two different configurations. That is due to one of the rules that I mentioned earlier about port forwarding. A port number can only be used for one program at a time. And that is a rule that you'll find to be pretty much consistent across all routers. Some routers give you little ways to work around it, others don't. This one does not. So let me show you another router which provides us with a little bit of flexibility in this area. And this should help you when trying to make a decision on which router to purchase. Before you purchase a router, you pretty much want to have a good idea of what it is that you're trying to do. Once you understand that, and once you understand the principles of the things I'm showing you here, you will know beforehand and be able to look for these features before making your purchase. And then it's just a simple matter of going to the various websites and downloading the user manuals that go with the particular routers and checking to see if they have the features you're looking for. Some websites even provide emulators that you can use to actually look and go through the various options in the web interface. Okay, so let's log on to this D-Link router. And what we want is we're going to go to Advanced and then Port Forwarding. Okay, now as you can see, the port forwarding section on this router looks a little bit different from the other one. It gives us a little bit more flexibility. And one of the things it does is it gives us this little check mark here. What this check mark does is it basically just enables or disables that particular rule at a particular point in time that you want. So for example, if you had various rules in here, so if you had some rules for your Xbox and you had some rules for your network attached storage device and you had some rules for your PlayStation and there were conflicts involved, well, you could simply enable them and disable them as you please. So for example, if you had a conflict between your Xbox 360 rules and your network attached storage device rules, you could simply disable the network attached storage rule while you're playing your Xbox 360, and then when you're done playing your Xbox 360, go ahead and disable the Xbox 360 rule and then enable your remote access rule. Yeah, that's a little bit of a pain, but it only takes a couple of minutes, and it enables us to keep all these ready-made configurations for us in our router and prevents us from having to constantly go in and delete and recreate them.